Damage or no?
Got the inside of it.
What's that all?
Barn or like a garage?
Finished garage. Yep.
He has that log cabin, doesn't he?
That's behind the log cabin.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's right down from Van Dyke's, right?
Yeah, before Van Dyke's.
Okay.
Before Van
Was
Dyke's.
Greg home? Was Greg home or no?
No, it's working.
No. Is your hydrants that far up?
No.
No. Bible, Eastern Bible, the last one?
Yep,
That's a stretch.
it was.
That's a stretch. You ready now?
Yes.
Call the meeting to order. First item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. Any deletions, corrections, additions to the agenda? Number 4 will not be on. We have not heard back from the applicant. Karen actually responded to him. And then number 9, I have not heard back from the developer yet, so waiting. So we'll just put that on the next agenda.
which other?
Number 9, Mill Street, was it, I think?
8.
8, sorry, number 8. All right, any other changes? Okay. Meeting minutes of 9:27.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes, 9:27.
Moved by Mike, need a second?
Second.
Second by Pam. Any discussion? Lori, the only change I had is under codes. I think we should put this report, the report that he did.
You did give that to me afterwards, I can insert it, I have it in
You
the
have it?
email,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, I think it's important that we show what was going
Yeah.
on.
I
Okay.
have a request here, Lori, where it says that I said that the best communication tool would be for the village website. Could it reflect that the committee found that the tool would be for the village website, that the communications committee?
Sure.
Okay. Any other changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is abstract 7 dated today in the amount of $47,596.67.
So moved.
Moved by Dan. Need a second?
Second.
By Mike, okay. Dan, they've been audited? You went through them?
Well, I went through them.
Okay, good. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The use of facility application was the Beard Park. We're still waiting to hear what the music is. He hasn't called us back, so we can't. Okay, Limestone Creek project. We had a meeting last week on site with the Rambo, and B&L and the contractor and a representative from the DEC. We went through the phasing of how they're going to do this project and what we're going to do. As soon as the water continues to drop, we know which routes we're going into. The 2 houses on Feeder Street, they're going to park their equipment on that other side and use that area to come in and move the gravel bar each way. The big rocks will come in the other way off the end of Sims Place. We sent letters to all the residents. All the residents know down there that what we're doing. I also met with Millie and a few others that we know. So we're going to use that end and come around, and that's where we'll drop some of the big rocks that we need to do. The only thing we need to find, and I didn't see it in Pat's thing, is we need to approve, there's flapper valves that we have to buy as part of the project. So we need to get those approved, or we need to get a price on those. So we're good. The project is ready to start as soon as the contractor is set to go with the water levels. And then we're not going to be pumping water, we're going to be diverting water. So originally the plan talked about pumping, and the DEC would rather see us divert water, so they're going to be building these diversions. And if you've been down there, you'll notice that the trail kind of does this, and it's kind of washed out here, like from here to here. We're going to rebuild that all, but that trail is still going to stay outside. So we've kind of diverted the trail out where that section is. So we're not going to put the trail back. We're going to leave it and make sure that what we do works before we decide to put the trail back.
Which end of Sims Place are you gonna come in from?
What's
South,
the address
south
down
end?
there? South, is it?
99, I think it is.
Okay, so if you go to the corner and there's, you know, Jim and Rita, and you take a
Yeah,
left,
Yeah,
right that way.
that way,
We're going that
okay,
way.
the north end.
Yep. Yep. So, and that road goes around, and
Yeah.
all it is a loader,
I
so
know.
the loader's gonna bring the rock and drop it, bring the rocks and drop it. Cause
Okay.
what's gonna happen is
Yeah,
the
okay.
bank, if you look at, sorry, you guys.
That's
Sorry.
almost the end of the, that's our village end, right?
Yeah.
Right there, that's where we end.
If you look, here's the creek right now, and what happens is, here's our bridge, and then what happens is it does this. It goes out, right?
Right.
So what happens is, it gets so wide that we get the buildup now.
Right,
So on the new, and what'll happen is these banks will be built up
okay.
with large rocks and plants, and it'll keep the water flowing, and we'll get no debris sediment.
On the west side.
Both sides are gonna get
Yeah,
built up.
but the west side would be.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then upstream is the cross vein
Right.
for the trout, and we saw the fish in there. So upstream of the bridge will be a cross vein of stone, so that they can spawn. So this will be all stones.
I was there yesterday.
And that will help put water into the feeder too.
I was there yesterday, I couldn't figure out how you're gonna get in there. Okay, all
They
right.
figured it out, so the
So-
contractor, and then we went up
And
to,
so the, on the east side, no problem.
no problems. So we can come down the land that we purchased from the Kinsella family, come down that side with the rocks, and we're all set. And we haven't done any landscaping there, because Pat knew that was gonna be a way to get in for the rocks, for the veins.
Yeah, okay.
So, once that's done, then we'll completely landscape that whole side, and then that should be done. So, we're in pretty good shape. He says he can get it done this year, weather permitting, and he thinks he should be in pretty good shape. So, you might start to see some trucks down there. I talked to the town supervisor and let him know what we're doing, and the DEC obviously is aware. The only person we haven't had contact with yet, and we haven't heard back, is WEP. We just wanted to let WEP know that we're working on, every time we work on the thing, we wanna let them know what's going on.
Does the DEC have to have a person there while we're doing this? or-
They will have a person on site, no, not all the time, but they will
Okay.
have a person, pretty much every day, someone will stop in and say hello,
All right.
and make sure everything's good. So,
Okay.
any questions on that? Okay, number 6, trustee Small.
Okay. So as we voted, we're going to be reviewing, updating our comprehensive plan. So there is a kickoff meeting, mostly an informational meeting for the committee that's been appointed to this project on October 14th at 6 p.m. The project itself can take up to 1 year. We're hoping for a little less than a year's time, but it could take up to a year's time. There's going to be an informational webpage on our Village of Fayetteville website once the project gets underway, and will be updated accordingly as we work our way through the project. There will be workshop meetings which will be noticed on that website, and they are open to the public as far as attendance, but not open to public comment during the workshop meetings with the committee. There will be public input and community workshops at specific times when people can make comments about the plan and/or the process. And towards the end of the project, there would be 2 public hearings, one with public hearing at the planning board level and one public hearing at the village board level. We are working with Jane Nicholson and Sam Gordon of EDR on this project. And they're the ones that will be outlining and setting up the schedule
Okay.
with the committee.
Okay, good. Any questions for the comprehensive?
It's not open for public comment, but then later it's open for public.
Well, it's,
Say
when we
that
have
again.
workshop meetings with the committee that's appointed to work through
Mhm.
this process, those workshop meetings are open to the public, but they're not public types of comment meetings. So if somebody wants to come here and observe or hear what we're talking about, they're welcome to do that. But they're not allowed to speak or interject things at those workshop meetings. There will be public meetings, just like there have been the 2 other times that we've done this, when we created a comprehensive plan and also when we updated it the last time. There will be public workshop meetings. I believe at one point we did a survey, like similar to what you did with the communications committee. And obviously, people can always write comments along the way or whenever. So there's certainly going to be plenty of opportunity for public input. But in order to facilitate the committee that's assigned to do this, those workshop meetings could be witnessed or observed by people, but we're not going to be entertaining comments from people at that point, trying to progress in an orderly fashion to get to an end result of where we want to be.
They talked about using a new product called Jamboard by Google, which will help if somebody's online, because they'll be broadcast here, they'll be in this in this room, so they'll be broadcast. So this Jamboard by Google will be used for online participation if people want to have input. And it's a living document, so.
So I don't want it misinterpreted that there isn't going to be public input. There'll be plenty of opportunity for public input, just not at our workshop meetings.
Right, I heard both, and so I wanted to clarify when
Yeah, no, I don't want
you can
it
and
to
when
be
you can't.
misinterpreted that we
Yeah.
were not going to take public comment on something as important as this.
Good. Okay, any other questions? Okay, next is, so we found out today through the county executive's office and as well as the chairman of the legislature's office that we were awarded 2 of the 5 grants that we applied for through the county's American Rescue Plan. One of them was the Feeder Street house demolition, and the other one was the senior center schematic plan proposal that we put in. So we are now free to go ahead and award the contract for the demolition of the 2 houses on Feeder Street. What was the name of the company again, Lori?
I actually, I'm not sure, I don't have it.
Okay.
I didn't fill it out.
Trying to think.
The low bid was $33,000.
33,000. So the county is giving us 75%. So I'd like to make a motion that we hire the firm with the low bid, and then the shortfall will come out of our American Rescue Plan monies that we received from the federal government.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Do you have any need or any use for them at all? You're good? You don't need to cut a hole in the roof or anything?
Okay.
Okay, because we're going to let the contractor go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 9, DPW.
Okay, so we have our memo list, and because we just met last week, most of the things on here are pretty much the same as they were last week, so we'll kind of go through them just quickly. Limestone Bishop's Brook, we just talked about some of that at Canal Landing, about the washout and the reconstruction there. The Pine Ridge Road and the Salt Springs Storm Line, the rail that were proposed and voted on last meeting to put in that area of Pine Ridge.
So let's talk about that. So what we discussed and what we want to do is we got a price today. We're just waiting to hear back from the contractor. There will be 2 rails installed. One at the closest end when you come down the hill, and then the other one closer to Salt Springs. Those 2 high rails, we have to have rails there. The lower one will not have a rail in the beginning, okay? So the 2 to the right, okay? So I just want everybody to understand that. All right.
I just went door to door and asked them.
Well, I got a phone call literally after I walked out of this meeting.
Because
at
they
the
were
last meeting,
watching,
so-
they knew
right,
it was
yes,
coming up.
so-
I can't help that, I
Okay.
can't control that.
Thank you.
Okay. As far as parks,
Good
the
for
only thing
them.
that's new or different perhaps on here from last time is that the fountains will be removed from Baird Park Pond and also over here at the Veterans Park where it's in the fountain at the trough at the end of the park itself. Main Street lighting, we've talked about. Limestone Plaza painting going one-way direction, we've talked about, and we'll be continuing to work on that and set that up. Retaining basins at Briarbrook Run, we've talked about, and that's ongoing. The road work on Mechanic Street with the curbing to channel the water into storm basins, and the speed humps on Warren.
Okay, we gotta talk about the speed humps.
Yep.
So I apologize.
Castle again?
I'm gonna, no, that's, yeah. I won't draw like I did there before. That's enough from Mr. Matt in the audience.
I'll bring crayons the next time, okay?
So, the idea on Warren Street here is, if you, don't get mad at me, Laurie. So right there at the first, right in front of Beach.
Mhm.
So the idea is
There's also two
right in front of beach.
manholes there we gotta
Well,
look
that's,
at.
place,
Because
that'd be
that's
the
the,
logical.
right, exactly, that's what Pat.
That'd be the
Well, Pat
logical
needed to
place.
know where to put it, so.
That'd be the logical
Okay.
place. You can't
So-
put, because that's the
Right
lowest
near
point.
Beach Street?
Yeah,
That's the
so if you
lowest
look,
point
it's
on,
gonna
on the
be,
street anyway.
Right up in front of that house
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
there. Okay.
We're just putting one, right?
Just one. South Burdick, he knows where we want it, so.
Okay, you good with that?
Yep.
All right. Most importantly on this list, to keep repeating, is the leaf season during the month of November. No brush, construction debris, or hard fill will be collected. The whole month of November is strictly devoted to leaf removal. And then finally on the list, the salt shed, the new cover has been ordered and they'll install it when it gets delivered. So those are mostly ongoing things that we've looked at in the past. The same with the bridges on Walnut Street and West Franklin Street. And they will be working on some tree removal for the November tree planting of the tree commission itself. As far as purchases, he would like to purchase rock salt and the additive for the winter season out of his account A5142.4. I'm assuming he typically buys this off the contract,
Yes,
so.
this is the
I would-
county contract now, not the
I
state
would
contract.
make a motion to allow him to buy what he needs.
Okay.
Is that
Per
up
the
to-
budget.
Per the budget.
Okay, moved by Mike, need a second?
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And we want him to look into the flapper valves. You want me to tell him
Yes, the
to
two
do
flapper
that?
valves for the,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So that one is broken, Paulie, I didn't know if you knew that. The one that where it burps up on Sim's Place, there used to be a valve in there, and that's what's,
Backfeed,
so,
is it the pipe that's angled upstream?
yes, so that pipe is actually going to get changed.
Maybe
And with a,
downstream?
yes, with a different valve, but then the county's is in there for Burdick Street. We're gonna put a flapper valve in that one, and that one's not moving, but you can see it, but it's low. It's in that corner where the wall kinda comes around
Mhm.
towards the trail. I never noticed it until they showed it to
Coming
me.
with debris?
No, it's just so low.
Oh,
So what happens is that if there's no flapper valve in that one at all, and it's just pushing it. It's pushing it back into the town center. So, we're gonna take care of that one while we're there too. So, okay, anything else, Mike?
That's all I
Okay.
have.
Fire department, applications?
None.
Okay, purchases?
I have a couple things. I'm gonna go to a conference on New York State legislation of marijuana. It's from PERMA, so it doesn't cost us anything. It's at Turning Stone on the 28th. It's 3 days, but I'm gonna go one day. So I'm gonna try to do that, so I'll just
Okay.
let you know how it goes.
Okay,
Second one is, this is the agreement that we had for training with the town departments. The only change in it was the dates and the names on the bottom. Nothing else has been changed.
okay. So we
That's the
need,
agreement for 2016, and the state wants a new one.
okay. So we need a motion to authorize the mayor to sign with approval of council for the town of Manlius MOU for training.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Pam, seconded by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Like we talked about with the radio grant, the match is 15,000 and some change. There's some ancillary stuff we need to get, vehicle chargers, bank chargers, and cases to hold the radios. 7640 is the total for that, so it's, it was 22,999, I think the total was. I just wanna make sure I gotta order that stuff, it's all on contract. Everything else has been ordered but that. And we're gonna take that money out of the reserve account,
Correct. Do you have a total for the two combined?
22,999.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
the total. I will cut a PO out of my account and get it to Lori so she knows, and I'll attach the quotes to it.
So Lori, do we need to make a motion first to move the money from the reserve or to?
You do need to do that.
Okay,
yes.
so we need a motion to authorize, or to move 22,922,
999.
$999 from the fire reserve to
So move.
3410.2.
3410.2
Second.
for the radio grant program. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then we need a motion to authorize, or to expend the $22,999 on state contract for the purchase of the radio grants per the grant that we received. And this will cover the cost for the items not covered in the grant plus our 10%
10%,
match
yep.
for the grant.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. So the total that we're spending is $23,000,
Yeah.
and we received how much in the grants?
153,590 is our grant total.
Money well spent. Thank you very much again, Chief,
Mhm.
everybody that did that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And the last thing is, I'd like to go to a conference with Jansen, the VCOS conference. I think Mike went one year with me. It's on November 11th through the 13th. Airfare, hotel, and registration is $1611.
Okay, and that's in your training? or-
I can take it out of training, go ahead.
Okay.
So move.
Moved by Dan,
Second.
second by Pam. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's everything.
Anything for the fire department? Okay, round table. Pam,
Nope,
I feel like we just did this.
we did.
Dan?
Yeah, we got we're gonna have a deer meeting. I got 2 or 3 things on deer here. Deer meeting on October 11th. Hopefully, most of the committee will be there. I can't, Justin and Courtney can't be there, but I'll talk to them.
Okay.
First thing, we are planning on doing that.
It's in our budget, and then tomorrow the county executive releases his budget, and I'm hoping the money's in there for the deer program. So
Okay.
if not, I will make sure that I make a comment
Did we get
to our
paid?
legislator.
Did we get paid for last year?
Not
We
yet.
signed the documents, so we've docu-signed everything, we're just waiting for the check.
Okay, that was a question that some of the members were
Yes.
wondering. So we're all set
It's
then.
not that, you're right.
Okay, so that'll be at 6:30 on November 11th, October 11th, sorry. You know, I understand that's a holiday, but we gave them a couple dates and that's what they came up with, so
Okay.
the most could attend. Also, for the recreation, the ski and skate sale, as far as I know, will be right around when the tree lighting is, so they'll be doing both. I'll give you the exact date then.
All right, good. Thank you.
What, with the tree lighting is gonna be open?
Right now,
I'm
it's
getting a lot of
completely, I would plan on it right now. It's completely COVID dependent, but right now, we are saying yes.
Are we doing horses?
We are. We have talked to Woody, and we have reserved the horses.
Okay, so did we get a hold of the association to,
We will do that, yeah, at the meeting in October. So they pay for one horse.
so is it okay with you that?
It's all depending. So if we can't host it here, we're gonna go to the lower limestone and have it completely outside.
Yeah, we've talked about it, it's just gonna depend on where everything's at, that's all.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Mike?
I have nothing.
Lori?
No.
Ted? Okay, nobody. So the street crossing at Route 5 and Academy is completed.
So good.
So it took April till October, but, or it's late September, but it's completed. So I just want to let everybody know that. The party in the plaza, Paul and Karen and I talked. It's still scheduled for the 21st, but again, this is going to be weather dependent. We will make a call a little bit earlier than we did before. Our town fire contract public meeting is October 13th at 6:30 at night, Town Hall. All of you are more than welcome.
That's closed, right?
What's that?
They just do that online?
No, they have a hybrid.
They're open?
They're hybrid.
I
So-
don't, yeah, I think they're on.
Yes, I talked to Allison on Friday and she
They
said they're
weren't for a
hybrid.
while.
They weren't. And then the last thing is the limestone bridge decking, or the limestone plaza bridge, the little bridge. I talked with the Department of Transportation Commissioner on Thursday. You might be seeing some people there. They are putting out an RFP to design replacing the bridge decking. The 2 parapet walls are fine, but the deck needs to be replaced. So this is a 3 to 5 year process. They do this, put the RFP out, and then they pick a firm, then they go through the process. So we're in the very, very beginning stages of this process. I asked that the village be involved in the design aspect and look of it for sidewalks and maybe aesthetics of how it looks. Maybe there's something we can do special to kind of create what we used to have down there, which I know we have a picture here, which I want to grab and see if you can get me another copy, Mike.
Okay.
Maybe we could go back to the way it used to look back before they did that bridge. So Marty Voss was very good and said, nope, we will make sure that we get you involved, the village, and everything with that. The county is paying for it, but it's a 3 to 5 year process. I told them that I don't think it'll have much effect on our fire service. We can just go down and back up, or it really does have very little effect. So, but I thought everybody should know, because there was some people down there measuring and taking pictures and stuff, and it had nothing to do with the DOT fixing the bridge. They had an expansion joint that they fixed at the same time, so there was a lot going on in the lower village last week. So Marty was very good and gave me all the information that we needed. So looking forward to that project, and that again will be in a couple years. Okay, anything else? Everybody's good? So we need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all. Mike, I started this list, I'll get it to you for,
Okay, yep.
We do this every meeting?
well, no, because we just had a
No,
meeting.
it's because Dennis said